strawberry plants are great at multiplying and can get so crowded that you don't get good berry production. Today, we're going to explore the 5 steps to dividing your strawberry plants without harming the plants. Hello, my name is Lynn Gillespie, creator of the High Performance Strawberry System and garden advisor for the Grow Network. And we've been growing strawberries for decades on our farm for our family and our CSA. So we're going to show you how to do the 5 steps for dividing the strawberry plants so that no harm comes to the plants. So we only divide our strawberry plants when they are mostly dormant in the early spring or late fall. And if you divide your plants during the late spring or in the summer when they are growing, they will probably die. So, okay, right now it's late fall and we are going to go ahead and divide a few plants for you. Okay, so first, before we work with the plants, we need to make sure that the soil is moist. So dried out roots and crowns are the #1 killer of strawberry plants. So if your soil is dry, water the plants and then come back tomorrow to divide them. All right, number 2, once we know that the berry plants are moist, we can carefully dig them up from underneath. So if your strawberry plants are in the ground, dig a 6-inch circle around the root ball and then dig underneath about 4 inches deep and then lift up the whole chunk. This should save most of the roots of the plants. Now, if your strawberry plants are in a basket, you can pop the whole root ball out of the basket and then divide it. Okay, so we're going to start with this strawberry plant. These happen to be in baskets. And number 3 is we want to rinse off the roots to expose them. So what I'm going to do right here is just turn this basket upside down. And you can see the roots here. There is the bottom of the basket is sitting right here. All right, so we can knock off some of this dirt and then we can give it a rinse. So we're wanting to expose these roots. All right, so we got some of the dirt loose, and as you can see, we got some of the plants are starting to come apart here. And I just have a bucket of water here and clean that off just a little bit, just so you guys can see what we got going here. So we're gonna get these cleaned off. Okay. They're beautiful strawberry plants. They are mostly dormant. I do see a little bit of fruiting. These are the day neutral varieties. And as long as they're awake, they're going to try to fruit. So we do want to take the material off of the top, and we can do that after we divide it. So what we want to do, let me get some dirt off of this table here. All right, so we got the plants, we got some of the roots exposed. The next thing I want to do is I'm going to trim off the top. So I have my crown is right here, and so I want to trim above the crown. So I want to protect the crown, and right now we're protecting the roots right now. So I'm going to get these trimmed up. This will also take all the fruit off that's trying to fruit. Because we want these things without the leaves so that we can keep them from wilting because we've exposed all these roots. Now, if you guys are interested in our High Performance Strawberry e-course, you can gather that information. There's a link in the description below, and there's also an exclusive coupon just for you guys if you want to check that out. We're going to teach you how to grow the biggest, beautiful, best tasting strawberries that you've ever had in that course. So might be something you want to check out. All right, here we go. So now we have, if you look at this clump, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's probably like 8 plants in here. So what we want to do is go ahead and get this divided. There's a fruit here. I'm going to take that off. And we have a couple choices. You can wiggle through that. The other choice is you can come with a knife and you can just push right down through there, and that helps to break that up. So this one, yep, there's one. Okay, there's our first plant. Got it separated. So we got roots, we got crown, and no leaves. That's what we're looking for. So we get the second one. Now this one, right here is the old stem. And this was going and it grew into two. So I can take my knife and I can cut that old stem right in half. Like that. Now I have two strawberry plants. So I got a top and a root and a crown here, and a top and a root and a crown here. So you can split those like that. So then you just get your next clump, wiggle apart what we can. Okay, there's one that came off on the side there. Still has roots, still good. Okay, and then I'm going to take my knife and I'm going to cut right down through there. And you want to try to be sure that you have root with each crown. If you don't have a crown with roots, then it's not any good. So that one's good. And this is back to the old stem. Okay, so right there is the old stem, and this one happens to have two crowns up on top, and they're smaller crowns, so I'm going to leave that together as a set. Okay, and then over here you can see that we have just a few roots. This has two crowns as well on top. This is where I split that, and I'm going to leave those together too. I'm going to take off this leaf. And then I have another one here. This one I'm going to wiggle apart. No, I'm going to cut it right there. Okay. So that gives me two more there. This one's got a few fruit on it. Take those off. Okay. Wiggle that one apart. You can tell when you feel it and you start wiggling it, you can tell if it'll wiggle apart or if it's solid and you need to cut it. This one is pretty solid, so I'm going to cut it like that. Yep, see there? Got the two cut edges. Okay, so there we are. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We now have 12 strawberry plants. Now, I can either repot these back into my basket, or, you know, if it's winter time, you can store these in the refrigerator just like you would if you bought bare root. So let me show you how I would store them. So I would take a plastic bag and put a little bit of wet peat moss in the bottom. So the goal is to keep the roots wet and the crowns, you want them a little on the dry side so that you don't get a molding issue up on the top of the plants. So you got some peat moss in the bottom. I think I'll put a little more peat moss. Like that. And you can take this, put a rubber band around it. Make sure the roots are all down, crowns are all up, and you can store that just like that. Now, if you don't think you'll have a mold problem, you can put those crowns down in. You can tie it shut like this, and I would keep it upright so that the moisture is down on the roots and not up on the crowns. You want to store this in like a refrigerator, 35 to 40 degrees Fahrenheit. And they'll store for up to 12 weeks. So it's a great way to divide your plants in the fall and then replant them in the spring. So if you would like to learn more of our strawberry growing secrets, you can click here to go to our Strawberry Success playlist.